Hey guys, what's going on? It's MJ's Raw Review, and I'm coming to you from mjfitness.au. Awesome Raw Review on an all new sleep support supplement from our good friends at Zombie Labs, who can do no wrong at the moment. It is, of course, Zombie Labs Blackoutz in the house. Let's get straight into it, show you guys exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's going to do. This nutritional information panel ain't gonna get it done. We're about to go balls deep in this here Zombie Labs Blackoutz sleep support supplement. Luckily, big ass nutritional panel appearing for the viewers on screen, so you guys can play along at home. Starting from the top, serving size 10 grams, 30 10-gram scoops per tub. Just wrapping the serving size now. 10 grams per scoop, 30 of those 10-gram scoop bitches in each and every one of these Zombie Labs Blackoutz bitches. If you are taking it every day, it's a full month supply. Of course, 30 days in a month. There are some macros and some calories in this sleep support formula, so we're going to start there. We're talking about, and this is for this flavor right here, my personal tub, the chocolate flavor. We're talking about 24 calories per serve, 3.7 grams of protein, which is going to come from a bunch of the active ingredients, primarily the aminos. We'll get to those in a second. 0.6 grams of fat, assuming from flavors. Primarily, there is a bit of saturated fat. I'm going to assume that's from the flavor and texturizers and those sorts of things. Carbohydrates, 0.7 grams. Once again, going to be coming from flavors. 0.1 grams of sugar, so almost no sugar. 94 milligrams, I should say, of sodium. I'm going to assume that's coming from the flavors as well. So there's a little bit happening, not too much going on, but there are some calories and some macros for those of you who are particularly macro conscious, you might just want to be aware of. Then we get into the actives. Quick addition, and we can see that we are dealing with 7.9382 grams, total grams of active ingredients, or 7,938.0.2 milligrams of active ingredients spread across 12 actives, which means in a 10-gram scoop, we're dealing with 79% active ingredients and only 21% sweeteners, flavors, colors, and non-actives. That is exceptional for any supplement, let alone a sleep supplement that is this deep with herbal ingredients in particular, as we're about to find out. But very good straight from the top in terms of the ratio of actives to non-actives. The formula, the active ingredients, the 12 of them. Let's run through them one by one, explain to you guys what they're doing in here and what they're going to do to help support your sleep. The first is glycine in a 3,000 milligram dose, which is a very big dose of glycine. Very good dose. Glycine is going to help reduce body temperature primarily, and also help stabilize blood sugar. And it does this by reducing blood flow to extremities. In particular, it's going to help promote physical relaxation. So this is going to get you physically relaxed, start toning down, start winding you down, so that physically you're in a state where you can get to sleep. We then move on to magnesium citrate, 2,000 milligrams, which has been standardized for equivalent total magnesium 320 milligrams. Big dose of magnesium citrate. Very good dose. Magnesium, once again, promotes physical relaxation through relaxing muscles in particular, and nerve impulses, and really kind of physically just kind of bringing you down a level. So we've already got some nice synergism between the glycine and the magnesium from the physical relaxation perspective. We then have myo-inositol in a 1,000 milligram dose. This is about a half clinical dose of myo-inositol. We like to see about 2 grams. We've got 1,000 milligrams or 1 gram in here. This is going to assist neurotransmitter signaling, particularly GABA signaling, which is the depressive neurotransmitter, which is going to help promote psychological relaxation. So now we've got the anti-anxiety, the calming down, the psychological relaxation piece happening. We then move into passion flower, which has naturally occurring Vitexin in here. 750 milligrams, so it's a solid dose, but it's not standardized for the active ingredient Vitexin, so we're not exactly sure how much Vitexin we're getting, but it is a solid dose regardless of that herbal extract, the passion flower extract. This Vitexin is a natural anxiolytic. which means almost kind of like anti-anxiety. It calms you down, makes you feel all kinds of nice. Promotes psychological relaxation, not physical relaxation, psychological relaxation. So already some nice synergism between the myo-inositol and the passion flower. We then move on to the lemon balm, 500 milligrams, naturally occurring rosmarinic acid. Once again, not standardized for rosmarinic acid. So it's a solid dose, once again, of lemon balm, the 500 milligrams of the extract. We're not exactly sure how much of that rosmarinic acid active ingredient we're getting, but rosmarinic acid is an interesting ingredient. It inhibits the enzyme that breaks down GABA, which is the inhibitory neurotransmitter. The neurotransmitter that's really responsible for bringing us down psychologically, relaxing us, calming us down, anxiolytic, really kind of pulls us down a level. This is going to promote psychological relaxation in particular, and it's also going to help sustain restful sleep because it's inhibiting that enzyme that breaks down GABA. It's actually going to help keep you asleep throughout the night as well. So nice ingredient to have. We then move on to California poppy. Standardized for protopine, not standardized for protopine, contains naturally occurring protopine, 300 milligrams. This is towards the lower end of the dosing range of California poppy. We generally like to see 300 to 500 milligrams. Once again, not standardized for protopine. The protopine promotes sedation and also helps reduce sleep latency. So this is the ingredient that's actually gonna help get you to sleep. This is not the physical relaxation, psychological relaxation. This is the ingredient. You go to bed, your head hits the pillow. How long does it take you to get to sleep? Well, protopine is going to reduce the time it takes you to get to sleep. We call that sleep latency. So reduce sleep latency. It's going to help you fall asleep faster. We then move on to chamomile flower. Man, there's a lot of herbal ingredients in here. Chamomile flower, 100 milligrams. Once again, towards the lower end of the dosing range of this extract, we like to see 100 to 300 milligrams of chamomile flower. It contains apigenin, but it's not standardized for apigenin. Once again, you can see the common theme here. Apigenin, another cool ingredient that helps upregulate GABA receptors. So we got some nice synergism here between the California poppy yielding the protopine, the chamomile flower yielding the apigenin, acting on those GABA receptors and stopping the breakdown of excess GABA. The apigenin is going to help upregulate GABA receptors so they're actually able to receive more GABA, the inhibitory neurotransmitter. Once again, this is going to help get you to sleep and help improve the quality of your sleep and help keep you asleep. So some nice synergism going on there. We then move on to green tea leaf extract, naturally occurring L-theanine in here, 100 milligram dose. Once again, this is towards the lower end of the dosing range of green tea leaf. We like to see 100, right up to 1,000 milligrams, but 100 to 500 milligrams of green tea leaf extract. Not standardized for L-theanine, so we're not exactly sure how much L-theanine is in here, but L-theanine promotes psychological relaxation. So shooting back up to the myo-inositol, the passion flower, ties into that psychological relaxation element. We then have Griffonia, naturally occurring 5-HTP, a nice dose of Griffonia. We're not sure how much 5-HTP, that's 5-hydroxytryptophan, for those of you who want to know what that abbreviation means. It's a precursor to serotonin, which promotes psychological relaxation. Once again, ties into that calming down effect. We've then got some vitamin C in here, 80 milligrams, some bioperin, 5 milligrams to assist with absorption of all of these active herbal ingredients. And then finally, vitamin B6 in a 3.2 milligram dose, which helps synthesize serotonin and melatonin. There's a lot going on. A lot of herbal ingredients, 12 ingredients across the board, nice doses across the board. Some ingredients are hyperdose, some ingredients are clinically dosed, some ingredients are below clinical dose. But the important thing is we have some nice synergism going on here, and we'll talk about more of my personal experience with the effects and how that kind of plays out in the real world in a few minutes' time. In terms of what it's missing from an ideal sleep formulation perspective, there's a few things. Firstly, something that yields naturally occurring melatonin, like a tart cherry extract, a Nordic cherry extract, something like that. There's nothing here that yields any type of naturally occurring melatonin, which is obviously one of the most prominent sleep aids thus far. There's also no holy basil in here, which yields ursolic acid. There's no ashwagandha in here, which we're starting to see kind of phased out of sleep supplements, which I'm actually a big fan of. So I'm not too disappointed to not see that in the Blackouts here. There's no L-tryptophan, although there is 5-HTP, although we don't know how much 5-HTP because it's built into the Griffonia extract. There's no hops, there's no valerian, and interestingly, there's no zinc. I was quite surprised to see no zinc in here, specifically with the magnesium in the B6. Usually ZMA, zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6 is usually what we see, but there's no zinc in here. So there are a few ingredients missing. That being said, it's a very comprehensive herbal based sleep formula on paper, and I'm excited to tell you guys about my personal experience with the effects in a second. But before we get there, infamous MJ's taste and mixability test about to go down, because we're going to break down the flavors, how it tastes, how it mixes. Guys, it comes in 3 flavors. It comes in chocolate, which goes straight to the biceps, especially when you're sleeping. That's the bicep chocolate transport mechanism. That's my personal tub right here. That's the one we're going to taste in a second. Comes in 2 fruit-based flavors as well, strawberry kiwi and mango passion fruit. The chocolate has been designed, and the label will reflect this, to be consumed either cold with cold water, as we're about to do in a second, or hot with hot water, and that's how I have personally been taking it. More on that in a second. The strawberry kiwi and the mango passion fruit, of course, can be consumed hot, but primarily designed to be consumed cold before bed. Infamous MJ's taste and mixability test about to go down. This is my personal tub right here. Let's take 1 scoop. Now, actually move this to the side because I've got my double wall glass and a spoon ready to go. Now, it's these bloody semicircle scoops going on here. But I can tell you guys that 1 scoop, which looks exactly like this, 1 level scoop, I should say, which looks bang on like that, is bang on 10 grams. So even though it's one of these often dodgy semi-sphere scoops, this scoop is bang on. It does weigh exactly 10 grams. So if you take 1 level scoop, you're gonna get your 10 grams. Let me take 1 scoop, sprinkle it on top here, and let it rain, let it rain. It smells good. It smells like hot chocolate cocoa. My table might go to sleep with this Blackouts on here though. Okay, few flicks of the wrist. We'll show you guys how it mixes and refresh my memory on how this chocolate mixed with cold water tastes. Okay, that's enough there. Now, I'm just gonna let it, the powder tastes good. I'm just gonna let it sit there for a second because I do want to show you guys something. While it's sitting there, settling, I would go so far as to say Turbo Ball is not required with the Zombie Labs Blackouts. It does mix very well in a glass with a spoon, or if you've got one of those whiz stick things, it mixes really well in there. You don't need to put it in a shaker and mix it up. You can, of course, but Turbo Ball is not required. However, I will say that it settles like a motherfucker. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can definitely see that. Zoom and focus action, please. But the double wall glass is good for this because you can see straight through the glass. But you can see already that's only been, what, like 20, 30 seconds? And it settles. It settles a lot. So you are going to keep a spoon close by, and even in hot water it settles too. You are going to keep a spoon close by, and you just want to do this to make sure that it's properly mixed, or else you're going to get to the bottom of it and you're going to get like this big dose of herbal active ingredients, which is not nice. Not nice. So make sure that you're doing this, you're giving it a quick flick, and then as soon as you've given it a quick flick, you're giving it a drink. Quick flick, drink. the flavors across the board are very good. They're very sweet. There's no two ways I can't sugarcoat this. See what I did there? The flavors are very sweet across the board. The chocolate is a very sweet chocolate. It's like a chocolate with a ton of sweetener in it. The strawberry kiwi is a very sweet strawberry kiwi, and the mango passion fruit is a very sweet mango passion fruit. And that's mixed according to directions. So the directions literally are, consume one serve 10 grams in 250 to 350 ml of hot or cold water. So I had 300 mils of water in there, so bang in that water range. And they're very, very sweet. The problem is, if you add more water to make them less sweet, you're gonna end up drinking half a liter, 600 mils, 700 mils of water just before you go to bed. You're gonna be up all night pissing. So there's really no way around the sweetness. Just go into it expecting that these flavors are very sweet, very punchy. Look, some people love that before they go to bed. If you like a really sweet chocolate treat just before you go to bed, fantastic. Or a really sweet fruit, like lolly fruit treat before you go to bed because it helps you sleep because it's nice and sweet and delicious. Fantastic. Just understand that these are very, very sweet flavors. My personal favorite is definitely this chocolate. That's why this is my personal tub. And my personal favorite way to consume it is with hot water, boiling water straight out the kettle, about 250 mils of boiling water, and then top it up with 50 mils of lactose-free milk. And it is very sweet, but delicious just before you go to bed. Chocolate for me, number one. Probably mango passion fruit, number two, strawberry kiwi, number three, but you know, the fruit flavors for me are kind of bang on. The chocolate for me is the standout, specifically because I like to consume it hot. In terms of the effects, that's what we're taking it for. Help us sleep, help us relax, help us recover from the day and the workouts. So when we consider sleep formulas, there's really three main effects that we're looking for. In my opinion, there's three main effects. The first one is relaxation, both physical and psychological. So physical relaxation, just bring us down physically, and psychologically calm us down. Get us to a point where we're able to get to sleep faster, reduce sleep latency, and really kind of start sleeping. That's effect number one. Effect number two is increased sleep quality. Obviously, we want a product that's going to help keep us asleep. If we wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, we're able to get back to sleep very quickly, and really ultimately increase the amount of time that we spend in that really deep, relaxing, recovering sleep. And then the final effect is almost like an anti-effect. We don't want it to cause us any morning drowsiness. We want to wake up, feel refreshed. We want to feel recharged. We want to feel ready to take on the day. We want to feel ready to crush the workout that day, whatever that kind of looks like. We don't want the drowsiness. So how does the Blackoutz stack up? Firstly, when it comes to relaxation, both physical and psychological, I think it does a really good job of the psychological relaxation side of things. Probably one of the best sleep formulas I've had when it comes to psychological relaxation. It definitely brings you down quite quickly psychologically. It calms you down, it relaxes you, your thoughts slow down, and you're just in a very calm state, able to psychologically relax and get to sleep about 15 minutes after taking it. Not so much on the physical side. The physical side, I didn't really notice. There's a little bit of an effect, but it's definitely not like hugely noticeable. Whereas the psychological effect, it definitely brings you down. In terms of increasing sleep quality, pretty good. I've slept quite solidly on the Blackoutz. Minimal wake ups during the night. When I do wake up, I'm able to get back to sleep relatively quickly. I would say it's probably middle of the range in terms of the other sleep formulas that I've used when it comes to actually increasing sleep quality and making me feel recharged and refreshed when I wake up. Probably middle of the range, I would say. No morning drowsiness at all, which is fantastic. And when it comes to that, you know, subjectively, how did I sleep using the Blackoutz? It definitely helps increase the quality of my sleep. It's nothing where I'm like, whoa, that was the best sleep I've ever had. It's like, yeah, that was a pretty good sleep. So I think really from an effects perspective, very good at the psychological down regulation, the relaxation. okay at the physical relaxation, does help you get to sleep quite quickly, does help you get back to sleep quite quickly if you wake up, and does an okay job at recharging you, regenerating you, and making you feel like you've had quite a restful sleep. In terms of the side effects, no side effects that I personally experienced. Which leads us to the question, what does it compare to? I got two products, both of them are Australian, both of them are relatively new sleep formulas that we're gonna see how the Blackoutz stacks up against. On one hand, we've got Primabolics Everyday Sleep. On the other hand, we've got Switch Nutrition Sleep Plus, one of the newest sleep support formulas in the Australian marketplace. Let's start with Primabolics Everyday Sleep. It's been around a little bit longer. Everyday Sleep has more active ingredients than Blackoutz, 16 versus 12. The ingredients that Everyday Sleep has that Blackoutz doesn't have, ashwagandha, L-serine, hops, valerian, holy basil, and zinc. So a lot of the missing ingredients in Blackoutz appear in Everyday Sleep. However, Everyday Sleep doesn't have inositol, California poppy, or griffonia. So Blackoutz has a few ingredients that Everyday Sleep doesn't. They're actually quite similar formulas in the fact that they're both very herbal-based formulas. I think Everyday Sleep from a formulation perspective and a dosing perspective is a little more comprehensive than Blackoutz. Not a lot more, but a little more comprehensive. Everyday Sleep also has 3 flavors. It has a flavor that's designed to be consumed hot, which is the green tea, lemon and manuka honey flavor. And then it has the 2 fruit-based flavors, Paradise Fruits, which is similar to the mango passion fruit in the Blackoutz, and strawberry kiwi, which is exactly the same as the same name of the flavor as a strawberry kiwi in the Blackoutz. Everyday Sleep is slightly more expensive though. So $79 for the 30 serves. So a slightly more comprehensive formula, but you pay a little bit more for it as well. Switch Sleep Plus also has more active ingredients, only one more active ingredient, 13 versus 12. Sleep Plus has a lot of the missing pieces that Blackoutz doesn't have. So it has tart cherry for the naturally occurring melatonin. It has holy basil for the naturally occurring oxalic acid. It has phosphatidylserine. It has some digestive support, some lactose support. It has zinc. It has full spectrum B vitamins in there as well. So a lot of the gaps in Blackoutz are covered in Sleep Plus. However, Sleep Plus is not as herbal based as Blackoutz. So it doesn't have passion flower, it doesn't have lemon balm, it doesn't have California poppy, it doesn't have chamomile flower, it doesn't have green tea, and also doesn't have bioperin for absorption. That being said, I think Sleep Plus is a much more comprehensive, holistic sleep support formula than Blackoutz. It's just not as herbal based, but more comprehensive in my personal opinion. And when it comes to more comprehensive, 6 flavors as well. So literally twice the amount of flavors as Blackoutz. A few of them are designed to be consumed hot and then a bunch cold. It comes in chocolate, choc honeycomb. Those are your 2 mainly consumed hot flavors. And then lemon squash, salted caramel can be consumed hot or cold, strawberry, pineapple, and tropical fruit. So a whole bunch of flavors to choose from in the Sleep Plus. Sleep Plus, interestingly, is naturally sweetened and colored. So no artificial colors, artificial sweeteners, or anything like that. And it is the same price as Blackoutz. So $69 for the 30 serves. Begs the question, who is the Blackoutz best for? I've really been sitting on this for the last few days, knowing that I've used Blackoutz for the last couple of weeks, on and off, used it, spent some time off it, came back to it, spent some time back on it, knew that I was shooting this raw review, and I was like, you know what, who in the realm of sleep support formulas, and specifically knowing there's Everyday Sleep over here, there's Sleep Plus over here, who is Blackoutz best for? Look, I think it's going to be best for anybody specifically who either works out late in the day or at night, or consumes stimulants either as part of that workout or for whatever reason later in the day and late at night. And the reason for that is because of that psychological downregulation piece, that psychological relaxation piece. I think Blackoutz actually does that better than any other sleep support supplement we have seen thus far. Definitely better than Everyday Sleep, definitely better than Sleep Plus. The psychological downregulation, the psychological bringing you down a notch, the calming you down, the relaxing you is the best that I have personally experienced. So if you're doing something that is going to rev you up psychologically, like exercising later on in the day or at night, or taking stimulants, later on in the day or later at night, I think Blackoutz is going to be the sleep formula that's going to work best for you. Aside from that, I think if you're looking for a good sleep formula that does calm you down, that ticks a bunch of the boxes, that tastes quite nice, although very, very sweet, is really good value for money, and just a nice introduction to sleep support supplementation, I think Blackoutz is a product that you should consider. Last but not least, price and value for money. We're looking at $69 for 30 serves in the Australian marketplace. Breaks out at $2.30 per serve. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like pretty damn good value for money to calm me down and help me have a nice restful sleep and reinvest that in the day ahead. Guys, that is MJ's raw review on the all new Zombie Labs Blackoutz. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, on whatever device you're watching this, actually, your smartphone, your smart TV, your Tesla, your Build Your Dreams. Don't watch raw reviews while you're driving, but you might have parked and I don't know. Anyway, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the MJ Fitness YouTube channel, stay up to date with everything we've got happening on the channel, all these new raw reviews and everything else, the long form, the short form, it's all here, baby. That is MJ's raw review on the Zombie Labs Blackoutz. And I'm coming to you from mjfitness.au.